overall, we continue to see similar performance to previous years, with a slight improvement in math, very significant improvement in science, in social studies. In English, we have seen a slight gain, very marginal, but we have seen a down in science, the results overall for 2017.
37%,
Yeah.
I believe, in math. What continues to be the problem area in math?
Well, there are quite a lot, but from the examination perspective, we are definitely seeing some improvement in the overall marking. When we mark the problem-solving paper, we are seeing less ungraded. That's an improvement, because before we had quite a lot of children who literally answered none of the questions. We are seeing far less of that, but children continue to fail at being able to understand clearly what solution they need to apply to the problems, the understanding of the concept that needs to be applied for each of the 10 problems that is assigned in that paper. That's a paper that generally gives them the most trouble, and it continues to be the weakest area of the system. Yeah, math.
So, would you say this goes back to the classroom and how these lessons are being taught?
It could be tied to that for sure. Foundation is also a big issue. We have children moving all the way through the system with very weak numeracy skills, extremely weak. Um, and obviously, if you're weak at basic skills, it will show up when you sit, especially that paper too.
A lot of our students are still not performing well in English. Is there anything that's jumping out immediately at the ministry as to what's causing this? Is it perhaps the writing component of the paper?
Definitely, all areas of English would pose difficulty to most of our children. It's not their first language, so that's a challenge from the get-go. And a lot of other influences. The system would draw on where would there be good examples of English being spoken, and they're too far and few in between. So that support will definitely not, or that contrast is not there where they could model from. It plagues the entire exam system, because when you're a poor English student, it interferes with being able to do well on math or any of the other subjects. So it's a critical subject area. But comprehension is definitely big on the agenda. More complex understanding of what they read is definitely continues to challenge them.
Looking overall at the PSE results, the math, the English, the science and social studies combined, how would you describe Belize's performance overall?
Um, well, it's average. Most of the subjects are above adequate, but it's not where we want to be for sure, and it's not where we want to stay, and we cannot feel comfortable about being there. We need to continue. We cannot give up on our children. We need to continue working. All involved in education, and of course, parents themselves need to support their children. Schools can only do so much, so it still will require the entire society as a whole